Welcome back. Now we'll take your questions. If you have a question yourself, send it to us at QuranSpeaks.com. So Dr. Shabir, the question that is all over Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you name it, is the Orlando shooting. So what are your initial thoughts when you read about it?
Well, the first thing is that this is horrible. No Muslim has the right to take the lives of people like this, or to take the life of anyone for that matter. So we all recoil with horror at this incident.
What are your thoughts about how it's being covered in the media? You know, because there are opinions that, you know, again, he's being described as a terrorist, and if you compare it to other similar shootings where non-Muslims have committed, they are not described as terrorists. What are your thoughts on that topic?
There's a general sense among Muslims that there is a sort of media bias in the way in which such events are covered. But I prefer, instead of focusing on that media bias, which is there and possibly there, we need to look internally at what it may be that is spurring many of our young people to commit crimes like this. So we need to work with internal criticism and let those who are politically savvy deal with the political issues, the media issues, and so on. So in terms of looking at our tradition, we want to know, have we in our communities created a sort of atmosphere that could lead to events like this? Because we do not want another event like this to occur. Whether done by a Muslim or anyone else, we just want to make sure that it doesn't occur. And as far as it is possible that another Muslim youth could do something like this, we want to stem that in the bud before it comes to fruition.
How do you think we can support Muslims who are challenging, or not who are challenging, but who are challenged by the atmosphere and the environment that they're growing up in, and, you know, eventually get compelled to do things like this, not justifying what they've done, but how do you create, I guess, that conversation, that dialogue, and that space to actually help and create spaces where people can have conversations and questions?
In our communities, we want to make sure that we are preaching a message of love, not hate, one of inclusion, not exclusion. We want to be building bridges with other communities. We want to create understanding and remove misunderstanding and misgiving about other people. In looking back at our sacred traditions, we want to re-examine some of the things that we may have taken for granted, but a closer reading of the Quran might actually reveal something different than what people have commonly perceived. If we take, for example, the story of the Prophet Lot in the Quran, the one thing that registers with most people is that this was a story about homosexuality. But in fact, it's much more than this. The crimes of the people of Lot are listed in the 29th chapter of the Quran, and it includes qatl tariq, which is said in Arabic, and that is something like highway robbery. And today, some interpreters say that that term refers to terrorism. Which means that the people of Lot, among their crimes, were that they were terrorists. And when God's punishment came upon them, it's for all of their crimes, including this one. And more so, usually the story in the Quran is that a prophet comes, the people disbelieve in the prophet, and then God gives them a final warning or a final test. They fail that too, and finally God sends them the punishment. Well, the story Lot's story here, fitting within this pattern, is that they were committing all of the crimes that they were already. Then the prophet Lot comes to them. He's a prophet of God, giving them the message to turn away from their evil ways and come towards the way of God. But they refused that. They denied the prophet. Then God sent two messengers from heaven in the form of human beings, and they tried to rape these men. And it is not just some individuals who were doing this, it is the community as a whole. So in the Quran, Lot says to his people, "Isn't there one rightly guided man among you?" So it's like, it's not a few people doing this. Like when we think of homosexuality, we know that this affects a small segment of the population. Some estimates say something like 2% of the population may be homosexuals. But here, in the case of the people of Lot, this is the entire community, and this is quite unusual. And this may be why Lot says to his people, you're doing something which the creation before you didn't do. It's probably not the 2% that he's talking about now, but the community as a whole that has deviated from the teachings that Lot is presenting as the teachings of God to them. So a lot more needs to be looked at when we study the Quran, and we cannot just simply come away with some superficial understandings, which would be misunderstandings, and which could actually foster some misunderstandings of a whole community and create bigotry and discrimination and even hatred, some of which could actually lead to something like we see as the horrible unfolding in Orlando.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shabir.
You're welcome.
Hey YouTube, we hope you benefited from this video. If you liked it, or if you didn't, let us know in the comments below. And if you're interested in learning more, check out some of our other videos. And don't forget to subscribe so you can get new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.